What's up, guys? What's going on? It is me, the creator of Greenalby here, and today I'm here with my next guest,
Jeril Laiju.
Laiju. My next guest now, we're gonna discuss on this podcast theme today about relationship and social building. So, Jeril, please describe yourself, what you do for a living.
For me, okay, so I'm Jeril. I am a trainee accountant here
Yeah.
in Bristol. I work for a medium-sized firm here in Bristol.
Mhm.
I have spent basically my childhood here at Bristol. I did my degree in accounting and finance here at UWE Bristol. Graduated 2 years ago. And straight after that, I went to my job right now, being a trainee accountant, and currently writing my professional exams to be a chartered accountant. But in between, I like being creative. I like expressing my thoughts and expressing my sort of creative endeavors. I've got a podcast. We did an episode together, Honesty Sales podcast. I like to be involved with BABBASA. We're here at the
Yeah,
BABBASA
we
office.
both are trailblazers. Yeah,
We're both trailblazers, so I like to be involved with networking and helping young people and yeah, just getting out there. I just love getting out there and just learning new things and meeting new people. So that's
yeah,
basically me.
yeah. That's literally why I picked you as a candidate to talk about relationship and networking building, because I've seen you great in that. Like, we've been friends for like a year and a half now. Like, I've known you just shortly after I started the Babasa. And I'm not sure if I've seen you on the first Trailblazer, but the Bristol Legends is where we first mostly met each other and we know
Yeah.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember well. Yeah, I think it was definitely somewhere here, and I think there was some sort of event over here, and I think that's some like most of my friends that I've sort of seen over here at Babasa, I've met through some sort of event, some sort of
Yeah.
Trailblazer event, some sort of challenge event, something like
Challenge
that.
event. Yeah.
I've seen some great people here. So like big up Babasa, they've been really good, and they've sort of improved my confidence. I'm still not 100% confident. I don't think anyone is 100% confident.
Yeah.
Everyone has bad days. I still
Yeah.
have bad days. I still get anxious
Mm.
fairly a few times, but I've definitely improved since I was 18. I'm 24 now. When I was 18, I was very shy, very awkward, and I just didn't know the world too much.
Yeah.
Social intelligence and all that kind of stuff. But I've grown quite a bit, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. That's really great. The social intelligence kind of is important to be quite important in social awareness. Really good. And I've seen you improving that. That's why I'm just doing that. Well, Gerald, I'm just asking you now. This question now here is: what is the biggest tip would you give to someone who's lacking social intelligence right now? Like, let's say you have someone who has autism, really challenging, trying to improve themselves, trying to get themselves in the spotlight, but they just can't seem to do it. What would your best advice be?
Yeah, it's a great question. In terms of autism and other, conditions like that, it is, there's probably certain different ways that you want to tweak it. But for me, when I look back at my journey, I didn't face any of those kind of issues. I was just generally overthinking quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I think initially what one has to do is just keep trying and use the things that you've got. So use your interests that you have right now. If you like video games, if you like YouTube, if you like gaming, if you like painting, whatever it is, you know, just be yourself. Don't try to force yourself to like something what the main people might like. So maybe the cool people
Yeah.
might like Love Island, for example,
Yeah.
reality TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Don't force yourself to like that. Just, you might like it. You might sort of see the cool people talking about this, and then it might interest you. But if you're forcing yourself to interest anything, it's not gonna feel genuine. So whatever you like, and you gotta embrace it. If it means, if it's video games, and there might be a reputation of kids doing too much video games,
Yeah.
they're just, their brain's gonna be like too young, and like they're gonna make mistakes, and like they're be childish forever. And there's like a bit of a rep that there might be, if you're a video game, you might be too embarrassed. I'm stuck in my room all the time playing games. No, if you like video games, I think you should embrace that, and I think you should go out there and, you know, one very actionable thing is maybe just go on Facebook or Instagram and just find video gaming groups, you know, like some communities, or, you know, go to Reddit, look at some conversations about gaming or whatever subject it is, and just get involved, because you're passionate about that. That sort of gets you
100%.
going. You don't have to force yourself to do anything. I wish I said that to myself, because, you know, the people around me, they like something else, and then I try to fit in and try to, you know, force myself to consume content for me to have an opinion when I'm with these people, and then that would make me validated. But no, I don't like Love Island. I don't like Marvel movie. I genuinely like, a lot of my friends, they like Marvel. I don't. So I think it's just embrace whatever you like and whatever you dislike, and lean to the things that you like and that interest you, and then go use social media and go and engage into groups, into conversations, and, you know, you'll message people online initially. Again, online is always, you know, a question mark of like legitimacy, but it's a start. And again, but face-to-face meetings, there's plenty of face-to-face meetings online. If you Google the location and, you know, whatever it is, I'm sure there's something that you can get to just get started. Because to build confidence, I think you have to be comfortable with whatever you're talking about initially. If it's video games, find people that like video games, and then just connect with them, and it'll feel effortless. It'll feel so effortless. And then once you, and when you're effortless, people will like you more.
That's true.
People will think that this is you, this is who you are, and then you've made your first few friends. And then you focus on them.
You bond with them.
You bond with them. You build, you know, strength, and you build confidence through them, and then that's when you can branch out away from the video games, and you can start. You have the confidence now. You can start talking about other things, you know, like the news or something else, because you've built that confidence. It all starts with being around people who have the same interests or the same qualities or the same mindset as you, because that is the seed to grow confidence. I truly believe that. And I recall my time, you know, like me and, you know, for example, me and Tyreek, you know, my co-host of my podcast, you know, we always talk business stuff, all these ideas. We both saw the world as something that we can take opportunities and go and capture any opportunity that we want. We have an optimistic mindset of things. We both have that. We relate to that. We share dreams and goals, and sometimes they don't happen. Sometimes it's just wishful thinking, but it grew, you know, it grew a bond. And we both came to BABBASA, and everyone saw that bond, because the people in BABBASA were very personal development driven as well. So when everyone's combining like that, you know, it just builds an energy that people can see in you, and I truly believe in that.
That's really good. That's really good. I've seen that. That's why I would say you're classified as a good person for social intelligence. Like, you're really great in that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what makes you so good at it? That's my question now. Next question.
What makes me so good? For me, challenging myself. You know, challenging myself. And the thing is, not everyone likes to challenge themselves. So I'm very interested to know what can make someone want to challenge themselves. Because maybe, again, some of the kids these days, they'll watch TikToks, they'll watch Instagram.
Yeah.
They're not challenged. They don't want to be challenged.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable. They're very happy.
In the comfort zone. It's basically like what we talk about in Pembrokeshire back then. It's kind of like taken back to that topic now.
It's very, very comfortable. My brother, he's always on his phone, and when you're very comfortable, the world is really nice and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's very fine. Why do I want to go outside and struggle? But over time, I sort of, what makes me good at social is I just feel like over time, the things around me, maybe the people around me, my friends were getting a little bit better. Maybe they were getting smarter. Maybe they were taking opportunities. Maybe they were getting good jobs. And then I always have a fear of being left behind.
Yes.
It's a very
same with me as well.
When an environment is going one way, and it could be like an opinion or some sort of they choose to go to this event, but I want to go here. I don't want to be left alone. That feeling of loneliness sort of like strengthened me to keep challenging myself. And I'm looking at my phone, I'm watching TikToks and stuff, but then my friends are going away from me. I need to do something. I need to challenge myself. So that fear initially got me to sort of embrace the idea of personal development.
Yeah.
And then I looked at all these things again, like my friends, people around me, they're going that direction. They're getting jobs, they're getting girlfriends, they're getting attention, friends, social status.
Yes, social status,
all of this kind of things. And then I'm here scrolling Instagram, very comfortable.
Yeah.
I must challenge myself. Otherwise, I'm going to be left alone. No one's going to respect me. And I'm just going to be a nothing person.
And that's literally where I face a lot right now. And that's why I'm trying to step up and try to build my social circle. Because very often, I would be home, just chilling, playing video games, all of that. And then watching everyone just doing their stuff and all that. Sometimes I just disconnect on my own because it's about sharing a bond, like trying to relate with others, because I find it really hard very often to relate with other people. Because let's say they talk about movie shows or films, etc., music. I'm like, I don't know what music. My music taste is completely different. My film taste is completely different. So it's really hard to find someone who shares the same bond as you. But then if you look at it, society in reality, many people just follow the trend, and that's why it's a lot easier for those who are like the cool guy. Like for instance, if you're unique, that's the downside of you. Like you kind of find it really hard to connect.
Yeah, I completely get it. And I feel this a lot as well. Like when people speak about movies and music that you don't relate to, I think it's just a part of life, It's just a part of life where other people have got different interests to you. And I felt it. I still feel it. I feel the thing is we have to change our perspective of it. This is part of life. We're always going to find people that have different interests to us.
Yeah.
This is always going to be, and if we want to grow and if we want to be the best versions of ourselves, we have to deal with these kind of things and we have to connect with people.
Yeah.
And not every person is going to suit your agenda. So it's not going to suit your interest, your behaviors, because me and you, we relate quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you suit me very well. I suit you very well. We like speaking about personal development. We like speaking about content creation, all that kind of things. But there's going to be people that come here and talk about, the next episode of Love Island or something like that. And you're trying to fake a response, showing that you're interested, but you're not. I get this a lot. But recently I've just changed my perspective and just been like, okay, Jeril, you don't know everything. You're not meant to know every language, every TV show, every movie in the world.
100%.
Just be honest to yourself, first of all, and then use that to just be like, I'm not aware of this. But you can still, I like to add that and say, I'm not aware of this TV show or music, but I do like this. So you can switch it into your things.
Yeah.
And that might work, that might not work, but you're still trying. And I think I've tried this a lot. And over time, again, lots of people, again, they don't relate to personal development, but it builds you confidence and it shows your energy. Because when you speak about the things that you like, you show your energy, you show your true self, people like you more.
Yes, that's
So
true.
it's a little bit selfish. What I tell people is try to switch it to your interests as much as possible. Because when you switch it around, you can shine.
Yeah,
You know, you can shine rather than just force yourself to fit into this conversation. Try to switch it around and just be like, oh yeah, you watched this, but I watched this the other day. I remember. Do you like this? You know, and questions they help a lot.
yeah,
You know, so when someone says something, you can use what they said as information, and then you can, you know, use it to say your opinion on it, and then you can ask a question.
yeah,
Because, you know, sometimes you don't want to ask too much questions because it'll feel like an interview. But if you just use whatever they say as information, active listening,
active listening. Yeah,
and then use that information and give them questions, you can get more information because you're actively listening more, and then you can keep asking questions, and all of a sudden you're both getting information of each other,
yes,
and then there's going to be one or two things that you both relate. You know, I think there's always something with two human beings where there's something that they both can relate to.
yeah,
So the focus for everyone when they're in these interactions is keep asking questions, and the response, keep actively listening so you get the information, and then you have an opinion about that and keep asking more questions back and forth.
yeah.
That's
It's
what
like
you call
it's like doing table tennis. Like,
table.
yeah,
Yes, think it. Yeah, perfect. Use it as table tennis where one person should not do a lot of the talking. It really is a give and take.
yes,
And that is what I found out. You know, that seems to work really, really well. Sometimes I used to ask so many questions and it made me feel quite, I'm trying too much.
Hmm.
And then I start to just, you know, share my opinion a little bit more, my honest opinion, and people seems to listen to it a little bit, you know, and sometimes again, social intelligence, after speaking a lot, you can figure out, you know, if this conversation is going anywhere,
yeah,
and
definitely.
you can like respectfully leave, you know, and that builds over time. But one thing people should do initially, speak to people that you're interested in, build that confidence, and you can expand. And it's very for anyone. The world is, you know, the world is the potential. You could go and speak to anyone. You know, that's what it is. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Because I used to not be able to speak, and I genuinely like it's crazy how, you know, you're asking me this because I still feel anxious. I still feel nervous. We all feel nervous, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's just about, I'm just trying to understand that this is part of life. This is a human emotion. Just accept
Yeah.
it. You're not going to be perfect, and you're going to find your people very, very soon, and they're going to help you be the best and shine in front of the people that don't relate to you.
100%. Yeah. That's really a good, inspiring topic that you share. And the great answer that I've received from you. That's really great.
Thank you. Yeah.
And active listening, I quite hear a lot of that before. Not really a new thing that I heard before, but yeah, it's a really great opportunity to hear and try to like relate of what people saying in terms of hearing what they say, and then you try to like give and take and just adapt to the question. And then once you give the question, you start asking more and more and more, or just try to relate or give opinions, give perspective about it. That's usually what it is about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a transfer of information. You know, one person gives information, you use it and release information, and
Yeah.
that becomes a great conversation.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So yeah, the next question I have, this is the last question now for this podcast now. Like, what is your biggest outcome? I remember you mentioned earlier, being successful is not just about putting a lot of effort, but it's rather to just give a certain amount of strategy. But you mentioned that before. Why is that a great outcome?
Like, do you mean like my strategy for being a good like social speaker? Is it or?
A strategy to be good, like in social speaker. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, like a strategy for people to maybe take away, maybe.
Yeah, biggest takeaway. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember with Babasa, 5 years ago, um, I talk about challenge, the fear of being lonely. I
Yes.
think people should look at anything that they're fearful of.
Yeah.
Whatever fear is it the fear of failing, or the fear of being embarrassed, or is it the fear of not being enough, the fear of your friends going away and you're lonely, whatever fear. I think you can like use it. I think that's like the seed to everything, because my fear of being lonely, it pushed me to challenge myself,
Yeah.
because if everyone goes away and succeeds and gets their relationship and money and status and all that, I'm just gonna be just alone and I'm not doing anything. So whatever fear you got, push that as a challenge,
Yeah.
and then go out and do big things that like scares you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I fully like go and do public speaking.
Yeah.
This is what I did. This is what I did 5 years ago with Babasa. I did you're going to be doing the Babasa event tomorrow. Um, we sort of did a networking event where I said, "Can I be the host?" I said that straight away.
Yeah.
Can I be the host of this event? I've never done any public speeches before. I might do like a presentation in school, a school course, but this is with 200 people.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's massive. Yeah.
It's massive, and it's very, very scary. But the fear of being lonely made me want to do it. I go
Yes.
and do it. I go and speak out. I prepare myself. I'm very anxious because I don't want to fail. So I repeat what I'm going to say as much as possible, and then I go out and then I do it, and then again it all went good, and then I got so much love from it, and those are huge moments for me. That was such
Yeah.
a huge moment for me.
It is
My
definitely.
whole life changed in terms of confidence, in terms of my energy. People, they like me. Of course, I still have anxious moments. We always have anxious moments, nervous moments, but people, looked at me a little bit different. I built an identity for myself, like a person with energy, a person with opinion.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's from challenge, it's from putting yourself out there. And I want people just to go and challenge yourself truly. Use some sort of fear and use that fear to challenge yourself. And I think that is a great strategy.
Yeah, that's a great strategy, and it is. In terms of saying I make people identify and understand know only identity, you can say, okay, right now, have you ever heard the term called 7 billion people but 14 billion faces?
No, what does that mean?
Okay, I'll tell you what. 7 billion people could mean how many people live on the planet, roughly.
Yeah.
If 14 billion faces means how many vision in terms of behavior they have right there, in terms of identity, because it's 14 different identity.
Yeah.
They have good and bad identity. People look at you in a good way and people look at you at a bad way. So like when people look at you, they look at it good, they have good and bad. So that's why they have faces right there.
Yeah.
And people might look at you as well. I wouldn't really just say 14, but I could even say 21, 28. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is people could look at you that you're really great at the gym. People could look at you that you're great in social intelligence like myself. People could look at you and think, oh, he's not confident enough, but he's doing well. And people could look at you and think, oh, he looks fit. He's really capable. He's more resourceful. He might even have a future wife. Like, everybody have a different perspective when they look at someone, and that's really the good thing about it. And that's how I believe you have to put yourself out there. If you want people to know you very well, you have to do what you have to do and don't focus on what people think about you. And that's literally my biggest challenge right there. But I kind of like identify that right now, and yeah, I'm happy that we can go together and just fix that thing up. Like, try to ignore or focus on what you can do, focus on what you can improve. And then afterwards from that, you don't have to worry about what people think about you. You're just already up there and people can just look at you and then people could give very good compliments about that.
Yeah, you should always this idea of being yourself.
Yeah,
It's vague. When
Yeah.
people hear it, it's vague. But
it is.
I think when you get older and when you challenge yourself and you go through some difficult times, maybe loneliness, maybe failure, maybe self-doubt,
Yeah,
they create sort of signals for you to act and try something different. use that feedback to try something different, because the success will come, but you've got to go through, those down moments.
Yeah.
And then when in this journey, because everyone's going through a journey
Yeah.
of these low moments and then high moments, you get experience.
Yeah.
And then after this experience, that's when you know, and you get wise and you get mature and you start to know and understand who you are.
Yeah, of course.
Now I feel like a little bit, I know like who I am a little bit. I'm still in the process still, like completely. But when I used to think that I can't fit in, now I think it's fine.
Yeah.
As you say, people might see you in a good thing for this, a bad thing for that, a good thing at relationships, a good thing at fitness, whatever. When I get older, as I get older, all of that is just...
It's just thoughts.
People's thoughts,
opinions.
my thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. And all that matters is, how do you feel yourself?
Yeah.
Do you feel calm? Do you feel yourself? Do you feel that you're being, true to you, like true to your beliefs and values that you've built in your experiences from long ago till now? Are you doing what you need to do? That's what that matters. And if people want us to think good about it, it is what it is.
Like, it is what it is.
We
can't change that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So that was it, guys. Thanks for listening to this podcast. It's been Jeril right here. Jeril
Laiju.
Jeril Laiju. Yep. I always forgot that name, Laiju. It's quite like an unusual name.
An unusual name from India. That's right. It's my dad's name. Dad's name. So usually it'll be like a family name. So second name will be family names here.
Yeah.
But like my dad put it as name. But you know what? It's fine. It's I used to be quite sensitive of it.
Yeah.
In the younger years.
Mm-hmm.
But now this relates to what we're talking about. You just see your previous insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
You just see them as it is what it is, and you start to think, wow, it's quite unique and quite good.
Yeah, quite good.
Jeril Laiju. You start to think. You think negatively, but then over time you don't have an opinion. But then over time you see it positively. So like if people like feel embarrassed about their flaws, you eventually feel grateful for your flaws.
100%. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm gonna do a quick shout out before I leave. So yeah, Jeril has his own podcast, another one too. And what's it called?
Yeah, it's called the Honesty Sells Podcast.
Honesty Sells Podcast.
We've done a few episodes. We're into the season 2.
Yeah, that's great.
We just did an episode with you.
Yeah, I just said, yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see that, just go to Spotify and just type in the Honesty Sells Podcast, and give us
the Honesty Sells.
The Honesty Sells Podcast.
Yeah, great.
And let me know what you think.
Yeah, and also quick shout out to Jeril. Be sure to follow him on Instagram.
So it's JKL Jeril. So that's my Instagram. I need to put an Instagram for the Honesty Sells Podcast.
Yeah, you need to do that.
I must do that. But yeah, follow me at JKL_Jeril, JERIL.
Yeah, that's great. And as well as your LinkedIn as well, Jeril Laiju.
Jeril Laiju and LinkedIn as well. I'm there. I'm active there as well.
Yeah, it's really important to give shout out too, because that grows your network as well.
Exactly.
Really important.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, welcome. And that was it, guys. I'll see you around in episode 1.1. That's coming up really soon. It's gonna call the SAS rule. Strategy, action, and support. That's another hint. I just gave you a little sneak peek of it. So we're gonna give you a whole answer to that just in 2025. Watch this space. I'll see you next time, Jeril, and I'll see you all next time.